All right, we back. Marcy Sports Talk in the building. I linked this article from the Detroit Free Press or the freepress.com in the description so you know that it's real. And the Lions are going to sit down with Drew Rosenhaus, who I did not know was the sports agent of Darius Slay and Damon Snack Harrison. I think they will sit down soon, I believe. And I think camp opens next Wednesday, I think they said. I know the rookies and select veterans reported today. But it shouldn't have took this long. It really shouldn't have. All right? In my opinion, they should get Darius Slay. And let's start off there. That should be a no-brainer. Either you believe in Darius Slay, right? You believe in him. You want to invest in him. Or you trading him. One of the two. If you believe that he on the downslope of his career, I'm not starting that narrative. I'm just saying. Then you move him. You know what I'm saying? Then you prepare in the draft to draft his immediate replacement, or you go out on free agent and get his immediate replacement or via trade. Okay? This shouldn't have came down to a week before camp. It shouldn't have come to this for neither one of the guys. Either we going to pay him or we not going to pay him. They waited right at the 23rd hour to negotiate. That just shows you the Lions is just it's not run well at the top. Because at the end of the day, if it's off-season April, off-season March, off-season June, July, whatever month, May, anything before July, they should have already been negotiating. They should have already have sat down, see what they wanted. Oh, we ain't paying that. So then we'll trade him, or we gonna wait to see if his price come down through camp. It should already been like, boom. They don't even have a threat. They don't even have a threat of not paying Darius Slay. And the threat is, well, we signed Blase Bly, and he could play, he could start. They didn't have a contingency plan. For Snacks, neither. They don't have a contingency plan for him, neither. He outperformed this. You know, you got him last year. That one thing, the Giants didn't want to pay him. They wasn't trying to pay him. So you trade him here, he wants to get paid. In them 6, 7, 8 games he played last year, he solidified your run defense. He made your defense a problem. Darius Slay solidified your back end. So we're not talking about no Joe Smo here. We're not talking about Kenny Wiggins, or we're not talking about a Jesse James type of player or a Jared Davis type of guy. We're not talking about that. Christian Jones, a Devin Kennard crying about. We talk about the two top defensive players on your team. In however order you want to rank them. Your front end and your back end, two of the critical parts of the defense. And you waited to the 23rd hour. You waited to the 23rd hour to try to strike a deal. That it should have been done. One of them should have been done. One of them should have been done. What you want? Okay. You go back to whenever he said, okay, I want a contract. He probably told you at the end of the season, or let's say he told you in April before the draft. You know what? We ain't trying to pay that. Let's draft somebody else and see, and start preparing somebody else to step into that role. Did they do that? No, they didn't do that. They drafted Amani Okwakwe, but he might be a year or two away. Did they go out there and get a run stopper? P.J. Hall or P.J. Johnson, whatever his name is, from Arizona. I'm not sure he that right now. So really, Drew Rosenhaus had the Lions by the balls. And he's a shrewd operator. And it's a 2 for 1. Like the same dude for the 8. Come on, he about to get paid. He about to get paid. He about to get paid. They should have been handled this. This shouldn't even have came down right before camp. But you know what they was thinking? Let's recoup some of that money back before we negotiate. Let's stuff our pockets first. And and what I mean by they wanted to stuff their pockets first, they wanted to get that they wanted to get that, they recouped that camp, whatever they missed for training camp. Was it $200,000, $250,000, for whatever? They wanted to get some money back in their pockets first. The Ford family is so fucking frugal, man. It's comical how frugal they is, because Ford Motor Company and probably even the hospitals get a huge tax break. The big three, they barely even pay any federal taxes. Amazon pays no federal taxes. And they still frugal to the penny. They still cheap to the penny. Very, very cheap. They just cut the NFL teams a check for almost $280 million. What you being cheap about? But then you could tell, at least Tom Gore's, Tom Gore's for the Pistons, what I go into luxury tag. He took a loss by taking the Pistons from Auburn Hills to Detroit. He's putting his money where his mouth is. You can say a lot of things about Tom Gore, but he's spending that cash to put a winner down there. He's spending that cash. The Fords are so freaking cheap. They was just wanting to stuff that penalty money in their pockets. Like I said before, Darius Slay is somebody that you drafted, somebody that you nourished, somebody that you helped, come into the league. It shouldn't even be no ifs, ands, buts about it. Pay him. But if you think he at the end of the line, then trade him and he get paid somewhere else. This is a rare Martin Mayhew draft pick that hit. A guy that came over to your organization, he should never been happy to help hold out. You see what Arthur Blank did to Julio? Yeah, I'm going to pay you. I got you. Julio said, I'll come to camp. Arthur Blank gave me his word. He going to pay me. They believe in their owner. But this, like I said before, Darius Slay shouldn't even have came. It should have been already evaluated. We paying him, we not paying him. But you know what? They wanted to recoup some of that little 200,000, 250,000 penalty for not coming up to camp. But Drew Rosenhaus gonna get that back in the contract regardless. And like I said before, the reason they went the Fords, the NFL helped the Fords to go to find Bob Quinn in the job search because he came from a cheap organization. She basically was probably like, I ain't trying to really spend no money for real. I'm trying to put a winner together for the cheap. That's why they went to the Patriots organization, the most frugal organization out there. That don't pay nobody. But people don't understand why it works. It don't work because they got a frugal system, and it worked because of Belichick and Tom Brady. Tom Brady take less money, and Belichick is a genius defensively. It don't work because of the personnel. And if you say the personnel, guess who run the personnel? It's Bill Belichick. But the NFL players, man, this would be an example. Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon Bell, Darius Slay, Damon Harrison, and any of these other guys, Ezekiel Elliott trying to hold out. Y'all better take this as a clue. Y'all better stuff them pockets. Save 50% of y'all checks this year and get prepared for a CBA lockout next year, because all they going to do is beat y'all down in the next contract discussion too. The CBA going to be all for them. They already willing to take marijuana off the banned substance list. They said it. They willing to take it off for a concession. Like, how many more concessions the NFL players got? They contracts whack. They trying to add 2 more games. The owners get all the money. They make 117% more than the NBA rack in. But the NBA players get like 100% more. They make 100% more. Look at that. But you know what? They getting bent over again for that CBA and get broke down again. And it's sad. It's sad. You don't keep going through these holdouts. Keep going through this. And they got the money to pay Snacks. They got the money to play Darius Slay. They got it. They got it. But it should have never came down to a week before camp to start talking. It shouldn't have came to this. It shouldn't have. They should have been paid these guys. Or been figured out what they gonna do. You got Harrison here. You knew what you was looking at. You knew he was gonna perform. You knew he wanted a new contract. That's why the Giants traded him. You should have already said, okay, he did his thing last year. Let's pay him. Or let's restructure his deal for this year and give him more money. Darius Slay, you already knew he probably wanted more money. It's either we think he done, he already used up, we don't want to pay him, let's move him, let's get a replacement in here, let's get some compensation for him, and let's move on. This ain't on Bob Quinn. This blood ain't on Bob Quinn hand. This blood is on it's got the Fords written all over it. This got Martha Ford and her cheap ass family wrote all over it. That's just what it boiled down to. The Lions financially, they don't have a will. They don't financially want to invest into a winner. That's what's holding them back. And also, they just don't know how to run a football organization. But hey, it is what it is. Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. One time for the one time. Motor City Sports Talk. Y'all know what the business is, man. And check out my other channel for more sports, music, entertainment, and much, much more. Goodfellas Sports TV. Right on YouTube. We gone.